Well, my friends, und da fahre ich auch jetzt, ganz oben, on the top of the mountain, over 2,300 meters. Let's get it on. So, well, my friends, here we are at our famous gas station where we start so often our tours. But here I want to show you something, because here that mountain, there we were on. But this is not the way where we drive today, but only that you can imagine now how high this is. You know, that is over 2,200 meters, and there we were on. But today we drive much higher than this mountain is, you know. But that is in that direction, and there you don't see it from now. But I don't know how the weather is, because before it was cloudy, they say it a little bit shower. That changes today very quick, and we will see how far we will come. A very nice journey. I will not show the whole route, but 4 etages, city, then outside of the city a tough route, there I will film a bit, then the way up to the mountain, and then when we are on top of the mountain, the last edge, to something very special. There is a futuristic house on there, you will see that. I don't know if we reach it. Tough route, but now let's get it on. Ding dong, here. From here we started now. Part 1 is finished, that was through the city, and now the part 2 is to come to the mountain. And that is a wide route, and it is steep, you know. So that is a really tough route now to come to this mountain, because you have to go through many villages, and these are steep parts, like here, you know, here with the gas garden and an extra LCD projector. And there's now some really tough steep parts to come higher to the villages. Part 2, and then part 3 is a main street to the mountain, and then the last part that is very tough. Stones to the last edge, to the futuristic house, and so we have to come in. That is really some tough parts, because we are now at the beginning, and when you then know at the end it becomes also so steep again. That is tough, you know, so don't waste energy here. But we will see. This route you know already, and I have to come in, you know. So you see, upwards, and on there you should know where we come out, you know. We had a few videos from there. Hello. Nice people here, or? That is nice. So this is the route which you are not allowed to drive normally, but now there is almost no one, so no problem. But it's steep, you know. That is steep. We come out at Bergisel, but today we don't take the route, the whole way, the steep part to the road to Italy, because now we have to cross so many things. And one thing is now we have to cross the street to Italy, where we come to Madame Court, that we have to drive a little bit, then we have to go on right steep, and there comes one really steep part. Whew. You know, by me it always takes sometimes 20 minutes, 30 minutes that I'm in, and right now I feel it, that it is tougher than normal. So the breathing is higher, feels tougher, but that will come, you know. So here we come out. That was now nice. Here we have the nice platform, but not today. We have to go on there. Now tourists came, and then we make the shortcut to the road to Italy. Hello. Hello. Nice people. Very friendly, watch the house. A small route we have to make here. Did you see it, boss, son? Whew. Watch. Here we made the video, the start to Madame Court last year. Haha. Whew. And now we have a few stairs to walk up. Then we take the shortcut, not the whole way. And then here I have to carry my bicycle. And I don't know. Maybe the road to Brenner Road to Italy would be easier today than this route what we have to drive now. But we will see, you know. So also done this. Now we could go to the Bergisel, but we take the other thing, a shortcut. Bergisel is the ski jumping thing, but don't waste energy today. Because the stones, our friends, my friends, the stones will come. And the stones, there you lose so much energy, you know. I have a hard wheel, lot of pressure in. Don't have the extra wheel for that, you know. So it is tough. So Ma, I made a mistake now. No. Ma, Scheiße. Müssen wir umdrehen. Scheiße. Ich muss wieder rauffahren. I have to drive on now. Yeah, it is what it is. When I talk, you know, talking, I was too far already. Because I want to get those etages where we ride now at part 2. The road outside the city to the mountain as quick as possible, because then I can enjoy on the mountain and know now I'm here, I have a lot of energy still. That is important, and I don't want to waste it here by this part 2, because that brings me nothing here, you know. And part 3 and 4, they will be tough. So we have to drive on. You know, this can happen sometimes when you are so much in your thoughts. And this will be the highest point from all which we have driven this year. Higher than any other mountain where I was. But I like it there. It is very beautiful in there. I have good memories from there. You know, I was often there. There were cool things that I will tell later. Now we have to go to Bergisel. You see it now, the ski jumping. You can watch it, you know. I have a short band on today, but it is not that warm. It is a little fresher, you know. But I thought better. I don't know, it's sometimes the feeling, you know, what I have in my feeling. Now you can check it out. The Bergisel, ski jumping, the big thing. We were here watching when they jumped. 1, 2, watch. I think one time, but I cannot tell exactly, that one jumped with the bicycle. Was it Fabio Wiedmer? I don't know. One was jumping off there, I think, with the bicycle. So now we go on. We could go now to the Drachenfelsen, the stairs where I'm so scared of the height, you know, where you can watch down. They are beside the hill on the other side, you know. So the sun is good, the weather, that is nice. Whew. But I try to be as efficient, as quick as possible to come to the entrance to the mountain, you know. Because when you are fresh there, that is then very good. If you are not fresh, it is not good, you know. So now we have to take the left route, the shortcut, here. So, because when we come out, we are at the end of Hohlweg, the road to Italy, and there we have to drive the main street, the Bundesstraße, the same street what we drive. If you stay on the street, then you come to Brennerrow Court, you know, only this one street. I show you that we have to pass, and then it goes upwards. 2 etages, the second one is very steep, that is ugly, and then a longer route up and down where you have a great view to the city, and then we arrive in that village. You know, there are nice street ball courts, I have shown you that. The Lizum Court, for example. So, here we moved in, you know, I've shown you also this, the road, walking. I had the bicycle by me, but I pushed it to the Drachenfelsen. And now here is the end. There starts this street to Italy. Then I show you a bit. I drive this on without the camera because it's dangerous. And then there's 2 ways up, little bit overground with the view to the city, and then we are at part 3, the mountain. First part, real street, you know, real street like here to drive up, and then where the ski lift, where this starts, we drive on stones, you know. But yeah, was also now a bit time what I drove until here. Maybe I'm 45 minutes already on the bicycle now, around that time, 40 minutes. So that takes also a little bit, you know. So, and here you will see this, one of the steepest parts which you can drive here. Our road from King of Steepness, what I created, exactly right down there. This would be the shortcut to come up the steepest part, but we took the shortcut a bit nicer today because I have to save my energy. So here is the main street, and here you can watch down. Wow, that is so steep, I tell you. Whew. And now here, this is the road to Italy. On this street I drive to Italy, to Brennerrow, you know, to the Madame Court, most special street ball court of them all. And when we are here arrived, but with the always with the hard Hohlweg, the steep one, then I have to drive. You don't see it from here. Over 3 hours only upwards, 80% around upwards, and then we are at Brennerrow. But now I drive this street only a few hundred meters, and then we see us upwards to the villages. So now we made a few hundred meters, the main street, you know, the road to Italy, and here you see it. Matrai am Brennerrow. There you come to Brennerrow, Italy. You see the Bay 182 street. But we have to turn right, and that is the steep part on. But there it is nice, there are no cars now, only on the main street then. But you see those 2 etages now, the second one is the steep part. There we came out by Fields Court, you know, street ball court, Fields Court. There are a few ways on there, but this is the tough route, the shortcut, you know. But for this route I could choose also other routes, but I don't want it to make them. They go through the woods, and this and that would be a bit quicker, but this is the best way now to me for today. And here you see we don't drive straight, we drive right now. On there we have to cross a tram, not a train, a tram. Maybe we see it, then it makes whoop whoop. Wait, I have to come down now. So you see now we make this route. Wait, have to go in the right thing. So yeah, this is the steeper part. lot of ways. On a lot of ways you can come to this mountain, but I enjoy this route today, you know. I know a lot of routes to come there, but I always drive a bit out of what I like, and here you see it. Steep parts, but yeah, perfect, and the weather is great. And you see the mountain on there, there is Bačakofe. What I showed you at the gas station, this is the mountain from the other side. But we drive now higher on than this mountain. But I don't know if we can do it today. Because it is tough, you know. It is tough. But we will see, you know. But I tell you, by the stones, if it is too slippery today, then I push it, because it makes no sense when you don't have the best equipment for such stones. Then I will push it, you know, because on stones, I told this is slippery, you lose energy, you can fall, makes no sense. So we will see. Oh, have you heard it? No, now she came, the tram. We have shit, don't see it now. Now it gets warm, because they say it is not that warm today. I waited at home 2 hours and didn't know if I can do it today or not, because the weather was so They say rain, no rain, lights, you know, forget it then. And now it turned out best weather. Unbelievable, it goes so quick. There you have really to check out all weather stations, because when you're on the mountain you don't come down quick. And few days there were lights going down and hit people, they were dead, you know. So be careful. And here would be the drain, you know, the hoop, the pipe signal. Here you see it. Watch out here out for the tones, you know. Wow, we smell it. Wow, the smell of this. You see? Already wet, but no problem, because it is warm. You know, it would be not good to come up here now completely sweaty, and then you have to drive long ways straight with the same clothes. When it's warm, it works, you know. That is the first part, but that is not the steep part. That is steep, but number 2 is much steeper. You will see that. But the air is now not good from the tram. Wow. Like in Ötztal, where they burn the car wheels. Wow. Now it is better. Wow, now you smell the nature. So it comes more straight. That you see a little bit of this route until we are at the mountain, because then you would imagine, yeah, that bit up on the mountain. No, also the way there. But to enjoy, you know, the weather, impressions, very nice. Wait. So now I put in the right thing. You see, small house with the drum. So now I have also a few ways which I can take. The main street or left. We will watch out. Very nice, you know. All the villages. It's also good for your head, you know, when you know so many routes and passages. Always, that I always did, you know. Also in other cities I traveled so much, you know, but all by train and walking. And we make now, let me think, what shall we make? We make the left route that you see a bit of the villages, you know. You see, very nice. friendly. Oh, the Bofrost, the eating guy who sends the eating. We'll go now here. You know, I traveled a lot in cities, and there I tried always, when I came back to the same city, first goal was always go into a tram and drive overground a whole route, because you go in the tram, that makes a whole route to the city, and you come back to the point where you started. Then you see a lot of the city, how it looks, and when you drive overground, you get a feeling how far this is. There is this and that. Wait, I have to go down. You see? And that helps a lot, you know. And wait, the other one. And then the next time I drove with other tram, also one round. And so you study and learn the whole city. And when you walk, you always know, there was this from sightseeing, there is this. Then you get a good feeling for a city, you know. And that was always the thing. Always try to discover new parts in a city. And that helped me a lot, that I know a lot about the cities where I was, you know, Milano. There are people ask me, Vienna, hey, they thought I lived there. Can we drive? How to come to this? And I say, yeah, you take the U3 underground from there to there, then you come to this. Like I would live there, you know. Whew. Now it gets really warm, you know. Very good decision for the short pant. But on the mountain there is 12, 13 degrees, 14. I have you see the mountain, but that is where we drove last time. The end, you can remember, on there we stood at the station from the television. Wow, that was cool. What a journey. And what I wanted to say now, yeah, with the streets and cities, discover it, you know, that you know a lot. That is always helpful. And that helps for your brain when you have so many cities, so many routes. I know this and that. It's very nice, you know. You feel also much more comfortable, you know. For example, I know people here, sorry, the air comes out, oh, doggies. Watch. Here you see the clouds, they can change quick. I know people here, the light one, who live here their whole life and they know almost nothing. They don't know streets, nothing in the city. I don't know that. They say, well, here I never was in my life. To me it's always better to know every part of a city, you know. Wow, the river, clean water, you know. Here the tram, it's very nice. But still part 2, there is a longer route to come to the mountain, you know. So we have to cross the doggies. Here we see it. Nice doggies. Hello. So here we have to drive on. Another doggy. Hello. Always nice people. Or the villages, they are so nice. But again, it is the side of the mountain where I like much more, you know, where the people are so friendly. You see that in my videos. At the other side they almost never greet you, but here that is always cool. Whew. So, I have to go down. So jetzt drinnen. Na, die Kette, na, no, Scheiße. Na, Scheiße, ausgesprungen. Man, nein. Ma, now we can repair it. Ma. Why? I've done nothing wrong. Scheiße. Man, nein. you see the house? Now I can repair it. Wow, das shopping. Why? So ein Scheiß. So. Warum? I have no idea what I have done now. Scheiße. Always good. A handkerchief. Wait. So. Wow. Whew. Very warm now, you know. But that is what I like. So, we drink something and then we drive on. Almost nothing dirty. So, our little, to repair the bicycle. But what have I made wrong, you know? I don't get it. I don't get it. So, check it out. No. So, now we can drive. Wow. Still part 2, you know, until we come to the mountain. But on there, the top, you know, that is so cool. The futuristic house, that is amazing, I tell you. There, I like it to drive, you know. That is cool. The cyberpunk mountain, you can call it. Whew. So now we try it one more time. Does it work? Yeah, it works. It works. Yeah. Nice. But I have another ding dong, another t-shirt by me, and I have a jacket by me, because on there, when it is windy, you never know, when you are sweating, also the ears, when it is too hot, then we will see, you know. The tractor, here you hear the cows, you know, we could buy a milk. You can see the old Bauernhaus. Here to buy much more healthy than all of those other automats. You know, wait, have to drive left now. The tractor. You see? That's cool. Painting on, you know. steeper part comes again, you know. So I have to go down now. Yeah, it worked. Because it was on the way down from the first tree. Here the water, but I don't trust the water, you know. I would not drink it. You know my story from last year. And now the steep part begins. Wow. From here on, that is now the second etage, what I told you. That is steep, tough, you know, really tough. But the house is so nice in front, you know. I always like it when I come here. But it is a longer journey until we arrive at the mountain. So we don't lose energy here. It's not today to drive the steep parts quick, no. Save energy, and then at the mountain there we can bring out our energy. And you see the bicycler, he does not drive the steep part, he drives the easy part, you know. Only we drive now the steep part. And we had a race bicycle, but we have a heavy mountain bike. Wow, now this is the part. At the end we come out by Fields Court, street ball court, Fields Court. Wow. I would say this bicycler, we will see again. He will pass us when we are on the overground villages. There he will drive through me, because there he is much quicker than me. Oh, doggy. Now you see how steep. Oh, that is tough. That is tough. Wow. And the other guy drives the more easier way. Wow. This is tough. But so lowest one, that prepares us for the end of the mountain today. Because when you cannot do it here, you will not survive on the mountain there, on the stones. Wow. This is tough. This is echt tough. Already wet now. Oh. Yeah, the tram, you see. Now we see it, the tram. Yeah, we have it now on video. Nice. Wow. Scheiße. I always, when you hear the word, then it gets tough. Shit, it means Scheiße in German. Austrian language. Scheiße. Bah. That is always the thing, you know. That is never easy. It doesn't matter how much you train. Of course you can do it. It's not so that you say, "Boh, I cannot anymore," but you cannot say I drive this relaxed, no. Whew. Wow. Whew. But you see that is street. That is not the stones, that is street. You have more grip. Sun cream I also have on. Light factor 50. Because we are longer in the sun today. But you never know, you know, how the weather changes. But be careful. The nice thing. Wow. Scheiße. Bit relaxing now. And then the last part. Brutal. Jedes Mal brutal. Scheiße. Jedes Mal. But that is what I like, you know. I say shit and Scheiße but I like it when it gets tough. But you have to say it, that helps. And over there is Fields Court, the street ball court in the fields. Not long ago we were here also. Wait, lighter again. Oh, brutal, wet. Now you see if the bicycle, I see it from here to the main street, if he comes or not. Depends if he drives it quick, not that steep path. But I think we will see him. By this house we came out and left is the street ball court, and I believe we see the bicycle. Tough, you know. But that is one of the toughest now. They're already toughest until we come to the mountain. That prepares us. Here you see it, Fields Court, you see it? Haha, no one here. Again, wow, before the rain ins Gras here. I drive into the green grass. Fields Court! But we have to make on there to drive down. Or you come from the other side, you know. I've shown you both sides with bicycles. A nice village, what we have not driven now. So last meters, then we are at the main street, overground. We are now higher on. Bicycle, does he come? No. And then we drive for a long time now the main street. There I show not all, a few times. Nice view to the city. And you see the clouds. Always watch for the weather. No bicycle. Still upwards, you know, but not that steep now, but still a bit upwards. With the camera in the hand. Good air from the woods, you know, the trees in there. And then when I'm on the street, sometimes I show you a bit. I make a break for the camera, not for me to film it. And then we see us at the mountain where the journey starts. Mountain which I have not shown you. No bicycle. And then we have part 3. And then the last part 4, up to that will be the toughest part today. But we will see. Because it's the last part. Because there are stones in and because it is steep. No bicycle, no. You see, there is the street where we have to come, and then we drive on that side. Da rinse up all water, you know. All, and not water, all sweat, you know. Now always watch through the clouds how fast they are moving, because then you can imagine how quick it can change. But from here we have a nice view to airport, to the other side of the mountains, and there we can check out what weather comes in or not, you know. Now you see no one here. Whew. And here starts the main street, and it goes also a bit up, down, but we are high overground now. But this street we have to drive now a long route from village to village to village. All on main street, Bundesstraße. Oh, the bikers come. Harley Davidson drivers? No. Hauptsache schon wieder von vorne ist Bayern. Ihr seid da falsch. Na, so falsch seid's nicht. Da drüben fängt Deutschland an. Fahrt's zurück, wo es herkommt. No, that was a joke now, you know. That was a joke now. We have to know, I think, that is in every country so. But now I drink something. Hey, the bicycler comes, watch. Here he comes. I told you that, but now we have to wait. Yeah, I drive a bit on now to make it all. Because he will pass us now, because here I drive not that quick, you know. But I told you he makes the easy part. We wait, but I tell you that every country in the world, I think, that beside country is that country which the people don't like that much, you know. You will know what I mean. But to me, I have never gotten this. I have to be careful. Because when I moved the first time alone to Germany, I thought, wow, the people, they are very friendly. I don't know why the people here often say they are so strange or self-confident. And I thought in the ECA, in the train, they're so nice people. And I have learned a lot of people from there. I lived there. Very nice people. Depends where you are, you know. Hamburg, Berlin, Munich, they are different. NRW, Ruhrpott, there I was in Dortmund, liked it there. Nice people, so that was a joke now, you know, because I heard that a lot of times back in the days before the internet was there, you know. So I show you the street, but here they drive a bit fast, you know. But that is a relaxing street, you know. That is not that tough. Hello, servus. So now there I will drink something, because here I can put on my bicycle. I will drive a bit more than you have the view. But that is what I told you, you know. Exactly what I told you, I know it. But brave, have you seen, was an older man. I have not seen the age before. Very brave when he drives this. Because it is, yeah, not hot but warm. When you're older, tough, you know. You see bicycling, I see that a lot of them, older people, 60 plus, even 70 plus, drive the mountains, you know. You can do that with the joints, you know. Weightlifting, you will not see many people with 70 plus, the 100 kilos. But bicycling you see. So a sport which is healthy for decades. But I extra drove a bit not that fast that he passes us, that we see it. And now 1, 2, weather is perfect. Watch, wow. Here we have this view now. Here you see, now we are overground. The city is under the woods there. Wow. And here we have to come now. So I make a break now. The bus comes, I hear it. Or an LKW. But you see, that is the village in the mountain, and under there is the city. And we drove a little bit more outside and came all back here. And now we have to drive to the end of that mountain there, and then we go left in. But you see, the weather here is really good, very cool. I don't know if we have then clouds in the mountain, but that makes nothing to me if the view is not the best now. But here, now I relax, and there you see that goes a bit up, down, longer route, but here I cannot film that good and when I'm much more on the other villages, there comes then village, and then we see us again, and then starts point 3 when we arrive at the mountain, you know. And then we take part 3 and 4. That will be tough and very, very cool. Let's do it. So now I drive a bit more that you can imagine it now. Watch. So now you see it goes more downwards again, and you see the next villages. That is not the city. The city is underground, but there we are overground. Those fields, those houses are over, you know. After that fields it goes down to city, to airport. And now a plane, because I came from above on there, it is higher on, and I have seen an airplane flying this way, you know. And I said, wow, what is this guy doing? And I thought maybe because when they cannot land there in the airport, they make a round, but I thought it is so low, and I forgot that we are higher on, you know, because here it is one of the toughest airports to land of the whole wide world, you know, our airport code, because it is so short, so windy often, and the pilots need an extra education that they are allowed to land here. So one of the hardest landing airports in the world. Yeah, and now we drive on much more from village to village to village, and then we come to part 3. Wow, nice. So my friends, wait, we have to clean the lens. Now we have crossed one village, now we are in the next village, and here it is nice. I show you that because here comes our mini golf, you know. Very beautiful. You are welcome as a biker, as a bicyclist and a real biker. You have to drive. Watch, that is beautiful, yo. That is really, really beautiful. And you see that? The old traditional houses here, you know. But now I have to go down because here is the mini golf. I show you that. That is nice. Beautiful area. You see? And therein you have it. Beautiful mini golf. So we come closer to where we have to drive, and the mountain starts, and then you know that this is a route, you know. And here we have it. There you can drink, have an ice, all those stuff, you know. And you see here it is nice. And there biker are welcome, you know. You see that? Golfstübel. Very cool thing. But we have to drive to our mountain, you know. No time to enjoy. But I drive on, not that far anymore. Then we have part 3, the mountain. Let's do it. So my friends, now we have arrived at the mountain. Now the journey can start. We finished part 1, the city part 2, outside of the city until to the mountain. You have seen upwards 2 etages, 2 parts, and then the villages. I crossed now the over next village, and here we are. And there we start. Nice view from here to the cows. I can show you that. It's really, really cool, or? But there we don't have to drive. We have to make now the left side. Wait, a little bit cleaning. So that you see it good, you know. You see here the cows, the village. It's very, very beautiful. Yeah, and from here we started. And then you will know, when you are a street baller who watches my video now, we have a court which I called the Litsum court. And why? Because exactly of that mountain in there is the Litsum. That is called the area, the mountain. And there we drive in now, then you know why the name Litsum court. I told this when I made the description of the court. And now you will see the Litsum. There we drive in. Aksama Litsum it is called. So I have to watch, go a little bit down, wait. So now we have it. Wow, and now here we enter in to the highest point from all what we have driven this year. But it would not look like this when you are here, because we are already overground. That is why I have shown you the mountain at the gas station, how high this is. And now we are even more higher when we arrive there, but it would not feel like that, you know. That is amazing. And now the part 3 starts. The road until to the station where skiing is, but before we make a shortcut, because here is a nice no-go court, street ball court. When you're a street ball, I show you that. But it is a kindergarten court, you know. Maybe there are kids in playing now, I don't know. It's a cool ring to play there. You know, I've never played, but I have seen. I have seen it. I've seen something in my eyes. Here we have a pony. Watch. Here you see it, the pony. You see? Here it stands in the shadow. And here is the court now. You see? In there is our street ball court. There is the ring on the left side to play. But we have to make the round back. That is the village, and there is the entrance to the mountain. From here it starts, you know. So we make a turn. So, watch out what is in my eye. So, and now the real street, and there we come to, this is famous for skiing in there, you know. But now we have it summer, and the first part will be the end, and there is the ski lift where it starts, you know, the Axamalizum. And there I drove, I will tell that later. And from there, that is the first part now, and when we are in there by the first ski lift where the ski area starts, then we have to drive up to the end, and there is then our finish point, the highest point of all what we have done. So, and here starts the road to the mountain. Oh, but this is a nice track. Now something in shit. So but I have to be a bit careful with the camera. Here we are still in the village, you know, Axams. That is the area, the village is called Axams. That is the mountain, the Axamalizum. You have to hold it like this if a police comes, because in that position they will say nothing. But when I have it in my hand like this, they say, hey, you are on the street, you know. Now it goes, no car. And now the tough part comes here, an LKW, you know. And you know why I've said don't lose energy, because that was also not a hard road now to come here, but still a longer part, and to save the energy, because you see long route. Here you see a private basketball court, you know. Goes only upwards now, you know. Upwards, upwards. And here, beside the street ball court. But it is now all street, you know. And when we are a bit more on, then I tell a few memories from in there, because that was always cool there. I liked it. In front is also a bicycle. But it becomes more quiet when we are a bit more on, you know. Street part 1, and then the stones part 2. That will be the toughest part. Still in the eye, you know. But from here, you know, you would not imagine that this will be the highest point of all where we were, you know. Higher than Kudai, where we were. 2,340 meters. And there is the futuristic cyberpunk mountain. You will see that. Oh. Here are darker clouds, you see that from that side, but I don't think they make something, but they look like rain, you see that? But they can be away quick and there will be no lights, you know. They said 10% that lights come down. Only upwards now, you know. Upwards, upwards. But that is only the beginning of the street of Bath 3. But you know, now I feel I'm much more in. As at the beginning where we started it, that was tough. But now I'm completely in, you know. That is good. Ja. So. That was a good thing with the short bend now. It's nice. But still upwards, you see? But still in my eyes, you know. Exactly, with such a bus I have a story from on there. That reminds me completely to a memory what I had on there. That I will tell when we have a little bit more on. But we will see if we can achieve it. That is always the question. I don't know. I never know if I can do it, you know. That is the thing, there's never a guarantee that you will be on there. The will is there, the stamina is there, the power is there, but still you have no idea if you can do it today. That because it is tough, you know. So you never know. You hear the river? Here we see the VIB Ridge Court almost, you know. But with the wide angle you will not see it. Because we are high on now, and on the other side of the mountains, there I see it into VIB Ridge Court, where we have to make the whole round, otherwise you cannot come with the bicycle. Here you see Litum, yoga and brunch on there, Sunday. And a bit more forward, if you would drive now more forward, there is the court where Eminem came out of the woods. Can you remember it? The last hole court, the last edge. And if we would drive in more right, we come to Kudai, to Watergate Court, the second highest court of them all, after Brenner or Madame Court. The third highest is VIB Ridge Court, what I told you at the other side. Only upwards. You see? And here the real street starts, you know. We are on the street, but from here on, now the real journey begins, because now the village ends and here is only street until to the ski lift, you know. But should I turn on the lights? That is now the question. We will see. So now the steep things start, you see. Summer events. Upwards. Still a bicyclist in front of us. I think also a mountain biker. Of course, because in there, then you have to drive with the mountain bike. The stones. But you have shadow sun, you know. It's nice. But tough thing, you know. That is a tough route also. Now you will know why you save the energy when you see that. Upwards, 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 and then the stones, complete in the sun. Then that will be tough. Nice. A little bit concentrate on the breathing. And then a few meters more, then I tell a few stories from in there. That was so cool. Now we can watch down to the city. At the end, underground. Yeah, but this is what you will see now. That is the village overground. This is with the wide angle too far. But we made a long route now. And you see that is really upwards. Upwards, upwards, upwards. Completely wet. Sweating. But I have the short bands. Right decision. Whew. After the curve, then I will tell, but I cannot talk the whole time now, because that takes out energy with breathing, you know, because that is not easy. But you see me live, yeah, live, not live, but still live, because I do it by once, you know, without a break. Tough food, you know, tough food. And you see me sweating, how tough it is, how I watch what I say, and I don't make shortcuts, you know, break, put the camera off, after 30 minutes I put it in again, I made a break, 15 minutes, no, you see me doing it by once. Not many people will watch it because it is too long, but I can say, hey, I have done it here by once when I achieve it, you know, and I have it on video that people see it. There was no shortcut because it is all by once, only if the echo goes out. But I put in a new echo, 79% now, and now here the cars become quicker after that thing. Tough, you know. Tough, tough, tough. Perfect today. All wet, you know. All is wet. But the good thing is, afterwards you can drive down. All drive down. Because then you are much quicker underground, you know. Then I take other route, and now I don't drive the village home. I make a short cut through the woods, you know. You see the water. And here you would never imagine, what here? 2,340 meters high. Yeah, that is why I showed you that at the beginning, what I told you. Because here you would say, what? No. Well, here you see it. But I take the normal route because in the woods, you know, I don't like it that much. No helm, and it takes longer, and you never know of the dogs. So here I make the route, the street part 1, and when we are on there at the ski thing, ski lift first part, then we make there are only stones anymore to the last futuristic cyberpunk mountain, so I call it, you know. My ass hurts now. My ass. You see street. Because here I have the best equipment for, you know, a bicycle, and I can bring on the power to the asphalt. And on those stones I don't have a vibration in, you know. I have too much pressure in the wheels. That is all disadvantage in the woods, you know. And here you see, can you do it or not? It's only your power, and when you cannot do it, then you have not done it. That's simple, you know what I mean. Here on the street, that you don't lose energy, you have the power or not. And if you have to go down from the bicycle, then you are not good enough to do it by once. Very simple, there are no excuses. In the woods, equipment, a bit luck of those slippery stones and things when it is wet. There is a bit luck, but here there is only you do it or not, your power or not. See, and now watch. Then you see how this goes upwards. Then you know why I said don't lose energy. And we will maybe pass cows. They will be beside of us when we are on there. After part 3, the cows will be in the way. We have to cross the cows. The bicycle is also here, I see. He took also the street road. It's better, you know, because here you have both street upwards, only your power, and then you have the stones to the last part. And here, that is not the city, that is overground. We are much higher up there, those fields. That is the overground. The overground villages. Oh, that is tough, you know. But I can tell now a few memories. Because in that mountain in there I learned snowboarding. I got a course back then that was when snowboarding was coming up. That was in 1998 around. 1997, 1998. And my grandmother, she has booked me that course. That was very cool because snowboarding was becoming popular, and the biggest brand in snowboarding was Burton. And Burton was only a few meters beside of my home, where they had their headquarters in the world, you know. Burton came out a few meters beside of me, and a friend of mine was sponsored by Burton in snowboarding because he was so good and talented in snowboarding, and he was from here, you know, from that Litsum here. And my grandmother booked me the course and said, hey, you can learn it now. You drive here, Axamal Litsum. And I said, wow, that is so nice. But that costs so much, or no, I do that. Wow, and that made me happy. I had a snowboard from the Giga Sport, which does not exist anymore. The shopping mall, the sports center, where we made the ball videos. You see, up, up, up. Now a tractor comes. We wait a bit because it gets loud when he comes. LKW, no tractor. I've seen it wrong. So, and there I got the snowboard. Was not the cheaper one. Yeah, and then she said there will come a man who comes to my home, to my grandmother's home, and he picks me up with and drives with me in there. He's the snowboard trainer, and he picks me up, and that was what, really? And he came with such a bus, what I have shown you before, where I said, wow, that looks like memories. And with such a tour bus, he came, and sometimes we picked up, I don't know, 1-2 other people from the city, and then we drove the street also this now, until to the ski lift in there. And that was a wide route when you were young. That was so far away from home, with a strange people which you have never seen. You know, I was 12 years or so. Nowadays 12-year-olds are much more grown up. But back then, with no smartphone, no handy, you had nothing by you. You didn't have a smartphone or a mobile phone, nothing. You were alone with a strange people which you have never seen. And your grandparents, they will not know what is there. There is no connection between you, know? No phone, nothing. And then we moved in there. And that was for a whole week or 5 days. And every morning he picked me up, and I enjoyed that so much. This drive on there and in there, that was so cool, you know. I liked the area so much. And there, wow, we had to walk in the snow upwards, you know, with no lift, to only make a few meters on the snowboard to learn it. Afterwards we drive a little bit more on, and they had a half pipe in. And one time I jumped a bit at the end from the half pipe down. I slammed and I said, wow, difference to skateboarding. In skateboarding you can roll, but with the snowboard you have no chance to roll. When the snowboard is underground on the floor, you turn your spine. That hurt it. I said, wow, shit. And I had never a talent for snowboarding, never. I was good in skateboarding, you know. I made double heel flips, double kick flips, double kick flip body variants, nollie pressure flip, and on and on. But at snowboarding I was not talented, really completely strange. But I also have a snowboard video in my videos from much later on, from 2003 I think, or 4. You can check it out, snowboard. And you see upwards, upwards, upwards. And there, in, nice trainer, but it was very tough from breathing, from the endurance, to walk up the snow. And we were at the first station when we enter in, at the end of part 3, where the ski lift starts. There we trained. And then we made break in the houses. Also in the restaurant they had après-ski glass houses back then in the 1997. With music, disco, it was complete other than now. And I will never forget, there were a girl, all nice people, you know. A few were a bit older, younger than me. And there was one girl who was the most beautiful one. Glasses on, and what it was, everyone watched, you know. And then I had extra the luck that the trainer said, you and you go together. And I had to work with her, and you made balance training. With one feet you hold with the other hand the shoulder of her completely close, you know. That I will never forget. It was so cool. I say, wow, now one time I have luck. One time also I have luck. All others were, wow, you have the luck, you know. And it was great, you know, in that young age. That was cool. So I was a bicycle, I've seen it. But have you seen that? I had all in my, I don't know how it looks on camera. That was all. Now I have the same pictures in my head, what I was thinking now. I had all seen right now. That is 28 years ago. 27 to 28 years ago. It was like yesterday. And there were a lot of memories. And that is exactly where we have to drive. And there was so a long route with the tour bus to come in there, you know, when the snow was. That was cool, you know. That is why I like that area. Upwards, upwards, upwards. That was really cool. Then other parents invited me, said, hey, what do you want to drink? Do you want something to eat in the restaurant there? But that was cool, you know. and at late afternoon or when it was becoming dark, you drive back home. The trainer drove you back. Wow. And the next day you say, yes, I can go there again, you know, when you have nowadays, you know, you can check out internet, you see all things, but back then you have not known what is on that mountain or there. When you had no internet, there was nothing, no mobile phone, no internet, so you didn't know. And when you came there, that was like, wow. When you liked it, you said, I come in there again. Nowadays you can Google every minute if you want, every day you can check it out, see pictures, but back then you had only the chance to come there or not, and you had no camera by you, so you had only to tell the story. You see, I don't take the shortcut to drive on with bus and then say, hey, I made it with bicycle. No. Yeah, and then you told the story at home how this was. You had no pictures, nothing. You could only tell your grandparent, your grandmother, how it was. It was cool. I liked it, you know. That was really a nice thing, that I got this course, you know. These are memories, but you will not forget, you know. That was really cool. You see, only upwards. Upwards, upwards, upwards. And the echo, what does he say? 62. That is cool. Here, private ground, forbidden. I had in my village at home also such a house that was called the Silver Range. There were a big Schäferhund. He had a chain on, aggressive, you cannot imagine. I really thought when he comes out of the chain on that, wow, there I had so much fear. One time then I never walked again there at Silver Range. There was no people around, only in the woods at my village, you know. So here in the shadow it is much more colder, you know, but perfect today. You see the breathing comes up. It's only upwards, you know, and we only drive it straight, you know, not like this and this, you know, no, only straight upwards. Now a car comes. And then after part 3, when we arrive at the ski lift, there is like a little, not a lake, but I enjoyed that it was frozen. There is not a round lake, there is a small, long, you know, not big, small, a bit long, but not that big. And that I also liked always, you know, the whole area when you are in there. And from there, only in the sun, it goes upwards to the futuristic cyberpunk house, so I call it. And I've shown you from my window at home at the complete beginning of the video. There we will be there then. That is what I like so much. You watch before you drive on, you see that point, and you know there I will stand in a few hours. Can I do it or not? So display, only time I watch to the display. This is our mirror. No one behind of us. No one. Nice journey. And then is only sun, the stone way onto this futuristic house. The whole part 4 is only stone and tough. And there, maybe there are the cows now in. We have to pass cows. They were standing in front of us. When you are afraid, you have to go through the cows. They will stand in the way, you know. Now a race cycler comes. Wow, very fast. Have you seen it? Because here is the Lattenrost, how I call it, the Weiderost for the animals, you know, that they don't come out. You will see that with a race bike. If you don't know that, then there's a bus come now. Yeah, but wait, my ass. Only to stay up a bit. Here you see it. Like in Kyudai, here with the small wheels of the race bikes, you have to go with full speed, hold it completely, because when you have scared, you fall out, you know. Now you know, don't lose energy until we are at the mountain. Now you know why. Again, wow, so geil. Here you see down. Wow. Oh, we see the tropical quad, aka the NBA champ quad. See it from here to the other side of the mountain, it's outside. Wow. But you see, upwards, 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 upwards. Whew. That is part 3, the street. In the shadow is a bit more colder, you know. And we are also higher on. When you come higher, the air gets thinner and it gets colder. But in summer still 12 to 15 to 16, 17 degrees it has on, so no problem, you know. But better when you completely sweat out to have a t-shirt, or I have always a Baumwoll jacket, you know, a light jacket with an over thing of the ears. When you drive down and when there is wind, can get fresh, you know. That is the best way. Or I can put on 3 things: the wet t-shirt over the new fresh t-shirt and then the jacket on. That helps always. The short pants make nothing. There, now in summer we have in July, you will have no problem, you know. Wow, we are high on now, you know. Amazing. And what I wanted to say now, I don't know, with the clothing. But here it is a little bit fresh, you know. Yeah, that I wanted to say. You always have to, well, now a fast one, mountain biker. Oh, they are very fast. That is fast, you know. But you see the difference. That he was full speed, you know, but way slower than the race bicycle, because the race bicycle with the thin wheels, the aerodynamic position, and the bicycle much more quicker, you know. But that is where the things happen, you know. Don't drive too fast. I always, you know, it's a rule from mine. I drive very slow downwards. First, I have no helmet. Second, even if I would have one, I would drive slow, because I always say it in this, I drive only that fast, how fast I could run. Because, you know, I do this a long time also. I drove in the middle 90s with bicycles so much. And I also fall out, you know, in winter and summer. And so I know what I don't want, you know. And now, upwards, it got steeper. Yes. Yeah, and the thing is, now we are on the highest point of all, and you started, you know, to drive over 1000 meter, 1.5, 2000 meter, or 1.8, 1.9, 2000, because some people feel it already at 2000 meter. Normally at 2500 it starts where the air is thinner and you can get headache. You can have it that you have to vomit, or it can get dangerous. But that is only when you stay longer. But when you are sensitive for that, so you have to check out, go to 1.5, 1.8, and it is a difference, believe me that. If you move up there with the car or with a gondola or a bus, because there you have you do no sport, you know. And when you drive up here with a bicycle, the heartbeat is completely on. I go to the limit, you know, or close to the limit. And that is a difference when you come to the height, if you come here relaxed or under sport, you know. The bicycle is still in front of us who drives on. And so to go to 1.5, 1.8, 1.9, 2,000, then you see how you feel. And when 2,000 meters were no problem, then you go higher to 2, to 3, to 4, and then you see had you a problem or not. And that is how I did it, how you should do it, and not first rule of the year, 2,000 something. You have never done so a long steep path and that year, and then to risk it, that makes no sense. So progress it, you see it, you get the stamina, you feel there is no problem on in that height with the air, and so that is the way you should do it. But I told this a lot of times, when you are ill, for example, I take a lot of walkings, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2, 3, 4 hours walking, and then I start bicycling, only in the city, nothing upwards, and then you come in slow again. That is the best way. So now all these straight path ends, we only drove up this street, only one direction, no curve, you know, only bump. And now comes the curve, you see Kehre 2. Only upwards, you know, but still no problem. But of course you have to breathe, you know. Now we come to the sun again. Wait, something was. I had to. So the curve. Car comes. See, and here it goes upwards again. You know, don't lose energy. Another car comes. Whew. Deutscher BS. What is BS? A, B, B and S. BS. BS. Where the hell is this? BS. Oh. BS Braunschweig? I have no idea. BS. I have to check it out. Oh. Now we are more in the sun side, you know, and that curve. In the winter, when there is snow in, you have to drive slower. There was a long route to come in there, you know, even with this car, what I told you. Long route, you know. Now I get thirst, but I have not much by me. Only not even half a liter I have by me anymore. But I could drink now a liter, so thirsty I am. Oh, no helmet on. Oh, that is dangerous, that is dangerous. to drive down with that speed with no helmet, wow, that is dangerous. Dangerous and stupid, you know. You know why I have no helmet on? It's also stupid, but when I have them on, I always get such a pressure in the head, like bam, 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 and that is not good to me. So I try to drive as slow as possible. Upwards you cannot drive fast, and when cars come I always drive very, very right, but not too close, because when you are too close the cars come closer to you and you have no space. But you know what I mean? No, bicycle comes, because if I would drive now in the middle of the street, then the cars behind you can crush you. So I always watch that I drive very correct, and then hopefully there happens nothing, you know. But still nice, you know. You know, when I did a lot of ergometer, there was a time when I only drove on ergometer. It was so around 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I drove only ergometer, or almost. But still goes, you know. It's nothing where I say it is tough, but very relaxed. Hallo, servus. But still the toughest what we drove was the king of steepness, what we did, you know. After 6-7 hours to arrive at Höttinger Höll, the extended one, 5-time extended Höttinger Höll. But I didn't make the whole, you know, king of steepness will come, this is my goal. And that was brutal. No route what we did is comparable to king of steepness. Nothing, you know, very quick. I could also easily go this tempo if I want, but I don't do it, you know, because the problem is when you drive 4, 5, 6 hours a day on the limit, then the next day or the day after you are demolished. And when you make the also sport, that goes not long, and even your immune system is very bad when you make it too tough, you know. You know what I mean? When people run a marathon, then they are afterwards for a few weeks, they have a lot of more percentage that they get ill, that they get an infection, because for the immune system those long endurance parts are not healthy. So I drive now relaxed, you know. But when I train for king of steepness, then I drive the steepest parts which are possible. There you have to go to the limit, and I mix that up, you know. That is now 80%, you know. I could make it more, but for what? It brings me not much, because I want to train tomorrow, the day after also. So you see, he made now the S, you know. When he gets too heavy they make the S, but we go only straight, you know. You don't need to go to 100% all the time, you know. But friendly people here, all have greeted until now, you know. And of course it's that side of the mountain where the people are friendly. Very fast, you know. Here walks one with a doggy in the woods. Maybe you see the small doggy. Ja. Wow.
Steiler Teufel da auch, ja.
Ja, geht schon noch. So, but the weather is perfect, you know, better than expected. When we arrive at bar 3 at the end, at the ski thing, then I drink something, then we drive on. Now racer comes, quick one. Oh, was this the guy who crossed us at the beginning, huh? Where I told you he took the normal route where we drove the steep path at the village at the beginning. I think he was it. We drive with one hand, almost 80% talking, but to stand up for my ass one time. We also have those gravel bikes, you know, they are lighter than my mountain bike, but really I could drive a lot quicker now, but I save my energy, because to me that is no race, you know what I mean. I know what comes, I don't know how far they will drive, if they finish it at part 3 or if they also drive on, but I don't think with such a gravel bike on these stones they will not drive. They will turn where we take then the steep part on. That is, I save here energy. For them maybe this is the last part, so they train for a race, then I would also do it other, but I save my energy because I know what comes at part 4. There I need to fight, here I don't need to fight, you know. That all goes, but for what to come on 1 minute earlier or not, I get nothing for that, you know. That is also dangerous to drive that down. And have you heard him? The steiler Teufel. A steep devil this is up, you know. If this guy would know where I drive, there this is nothing against, you know. Yeah, this is steep. For most race cyclers, this is steep. But where I drive normally, that is complete other path, you know. King of steepness. But all nice. And I told you, everyone drives in that pace where he or she feels comfortable, and that is the best way, you know. We only drive against us. When you train the first time in a year, you will be not that good if you would have trained now 40 times amount, you know. That it is. Ah, you see, still upwards. And I have nothing to drink, only those, not even half a liter. And when I drive too fast, you get more thirsty, and that is stupid. I have no money by me, cannot buy nothing, you know. I could, oh, 33% now, can happen that it goes out. We will see. It is not that warm. Maybe it holds a bit longer. We will see. But to come down is a nice way because it is steep, but not too steep. And we are very quick in the city again. So there you don't need to, like all the routes, when you know you have to make the same route all backwards. When you are finished at the street ball calling drive all back, here we don't have this. Here I only have to sit on and drive downwards. That is the good thing, you know. But the tough part will come. Maybe I mix up my iced tea with a water station, but I don't trust in those water stations anymore after that what happened last year. But I don't know if it was really the water or if it was too much, because then I would have a more isotonic drink than those hypertonic iced tea with too much sugar in, you know. I would have to have a Ladella or this vitamin boost, that is mineral water with a few vitamins and nothing else. That would be also good. We come closer. Then we end part 3. And then part 4, the stone part. You see? You know what difference this is? A bike with 1 kilo plus or minus from the weight. It's a huge difference. When this weighs in 12.5 and I have the backpack another 2 kilo, or at the beginning with the bottles in more. So I drive with over 5 kilo plus against the other drivers, you know. There's also a difference. They have a bike under 10 kilo. The race cycle 8, 7, 6 kilo. Mountain bike has maybe 8, 9, 10 kilo. And I drive with the backpack with 15 kilo. Bike and backpack. They have no backpack, you know. Country night, you see the leather here. Country night. Gaudenzi country night. Hot country music. Cherry bomb. My ass. Now we are in the sun. Now Kurve 3, Kehre 3. Now we are on the height of Brennerrow Court, the highest street ball court of them all. At that height we are already. So memories to this house, you know. There I always thought, now we are here. No, we have to drive a bit, he said. The trainer, you know, with the car. Oh, my ass. So we can go on higher. Bit wind. I see the driver, you see? The LKWs. Now it opens up, you see? Wow, the sharp mountains. The weather, yeah, still works. What a view. The doggy also comes. Oh, that is nice, or that side. Servus. So we go in the lightest. Not dark always, you know. Wow. But that is outside, that is not the city what you see here, that is outside already, you know. You see a lot of view already, or wow, that is nice. Great, 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 great. We have to drive upwards, you know. Long route, you know. I told you again, don't waste energy because it is a tough way. Concentrate a bit, you know. Breathing. Long route already, you know, but still goes, you know, still goes. The shoulder from holding the camera, you know. Oh, my ass, my ass. And do you like it? You can sit on television now, sit in your bench, drink an iced tea, and I have to sit on here and make the work, you know. And now the next curve comes. The Kere 4, you know. Oh, my ass, my ass, my ass. I only have a normal pant, you know. No vibration in. You can see. Then we will see if the bicycles come down or if they also take part 4. Clouds, yeah, but I think there are no lights or you hear nothing. But I will check out the app when we are at part 3 on, then we will see. But that prepares also for King of Steepness, because you drive upwards, not that steep, against my part but long, you know. The stamina to do it long for hours. That is here what I train, you know. I don't need to be fast because my goal, the King of Steepness, they are so steep that race cyclists, girls, upwards, because they are so steep, there you can be proud if you don't fall backwards, you know. And so here is the endurance, also steep parts for a long time. You mix it up all for that goal, you know. That is the thing. Now the car. Oh, geil. So now my friends, the echo was over. What shall I do now? I had to go down for 2 minutes or so. I drank a bit and put it in. But when it's over I cannot change it, or? But watch at the view. Wow, that is now already amazing, or? Wow, very cool. But in there the clouds, you know. But what a view, or? Normally I don't want to go down. I want to make it by once, but now what shall you do? When the echo is out, you have to go down. You have no other chance. Wow. Wait, I have to come in again. 1, 2, bam. Nothing fall out from my backpack now. Wow. Yeah, it is a bit lighter now, yeah. When you stay 2 minutes, but still I would have done it. But when you have to go down, you have to go down, you know. But we will see, you know. Still very nice. New echo. Servus. You know, you could only do it without the camera, or to have 2 cameras, you know, on there, one right, one left. When one echo is over, next one, and own back here with the but I don't have this equipment. But it makes really a difference when you make a break, even only half a minute. That is then so much easier to go on. And when people say they go on with this tick-tack, this, you know, not straight on, you know, not boom, so this, and make, I don't know, 5-10 times a break, that is complete a different story than to make it by once, you know. But now, to change the echo, you have to do it, or I could not film it, you know. But it's more important that I film it now that we have the whole route on to see me, and not on there that I say, hey, I've done it. No, I want to show it. This also enjoys, have you seen the bicycle? He also enjoys the out view here. But still nice, you know. But now I have not much to drink anymore, because when you are so thirsty, you would like to drink the whole bottle, you know. But there you have to be careful. Always let in a bit for later, because you never know what comes. But the good thing is, again, we are very quick downwards, you know. In the city I'm very quick. And there where we came out, because it's the other route what I drove on now, I told I drive back in the woods. This is a small part. And then when I arrive underground in the city, I have it not only 20 minutes to come home, and that is no problem, you know. And here I can only to roll all down. And that is also fine because it is a nice street, a big street, and it's not too steep, so I don't have to be always because my brakes, you know, I have the brakes here. I have to push it very hard, you know, back and front, so that it's also, but when it's not too steep, it goes well, you know. But you see, only upwards, upwards, upwards. And we have another 1000 meters to come up, almost 1000 meters still. But the clouds, you know, that will be the question. If you know me, I always try until to the last point. I never give up. Only when I see no reason anymore, or when there is really no other possibility, then I quit it. I quit it. But otherwise I always go on. Even if I say, nah, shit, and this and that, but I go on. But the weather, there is the thing. I check out the app on there, because by bad weather you have no other chance to turn. If you want or not, you have to turn. You know, a light one time was coming in 20 meters beside of me, 30 meters. There was an escape park. I worked on an aluminium platform for the ramp with a hammer and nail, and then we sit on the house, on the clubhouse outside. This was a small wooden house with my home court, and then boom, because the river was between, and in the river the light came in. For dangerous. That was the loudest boom what I've ever heard, you know. And so I know the risk of the light. Let's see. And you would not imagine now, that we are already higher than the highest street ball court, you know, the Brennerpass. Still nice, you know, weather, temperature, street, all good, you know. But you see, I hold the camera like so. I have it in this in the hand, only a little bit of the hand on the wheel, but that helps also, you know, because when I hold it this shoulder and also with one hand, that takes out so much energy, you know what I mean. I have done it now extra, but you know what I mean. So to have the hand a bit on helps a lot. And I have the lens mod on 155 view, and so I'm always in the picture, and it has a 180 degree. I can turn the camera and the picture will always be straight, you know. But when you make a turn up and down, you will see the lines in like a ball, you know, a circle. You see, upwards. Whew. But here the weather is not that good. that looks like rain. They said at 1-2 o'clock it starts a bit, 40% maybe, but no light, and then after it will get the sun still out. But we check it out when we're on there, because exactly there is the road then, you know, where we have to drive. I'm only scared, shower also, because the steep parts, there can always fall something off, get slippery in the woods, that we don't want, you know. And the lights, these are the problems. But it's only here, all other side of the mountains, all nice, only in there now. But I didn't thought that I come here today. I waited 2 hours in the morning, where I thought, wow, shit, I cannot drive now, no. And then I thought, wow, they look so good on the app also now, better. Then I drove. But of course I want to come to the top, you know, to the futuristic Cyber Mountain. And we are on there at part 4 at the end. Backpack. Drive, you know. There's always enjoyment. One position here, one here, one a bit here. I can sit more like on a city bike when I'm on there to enjoy the back. When I grab it here, more in the race position, so that is also good. And this is not too bright, you know, that is shoulder a bit this and not too far out, you know. Here I see the house where we have to go. I show you, wait, a few meters down. Wait. Watch. There on we have to go now. But the clouds, this will be the question, you know. So, hello, servus. Very nice. And you see, we have still a bit to go, you know. But here the clouds, you know, they look like rain. I was on there on the mountain where the rain, the lights came in, you know, with my grandmother. One time when I was little at the Seegrube, where we were on, that was tough. I've seen here a racer, lights on, very good. And here you see how it goes downwards. These are those sharp mountains. And down there, wow, that looks futuristic, I tell you that. Like in Cyberpunk. The Cyberpunk mountain. The Cyberpunk house in the Cyberpunk mountain. Race cyclists, but they will only drive to part 3 at the end, because with this bicycle, oh, that was the fast one, can you remember? Now you know they only go to part 3, because then the stones start. Then to me the steep part begins. For them this is the steep part where it ends for them, so they can bring out the last energy here, but I have to save the energy here to achieve part 4, you know. And and I have to watch out to the echo because this is the 3rd echo and I have 5 echoes, but echo 4 and echo 5 I loaded up, but I don't know how much percentage they have, if they have now 50, 70, 90, so I have to be a bit careful that we can film then if we arrive, not that we don't have much, that we cannot film it. Here we have now 82%. By the stones, I don't know if I can film it that good, because when it's too steep, stony, we will see how it works out today. But we will see. Check out the water, check out the weather. At the end of part 3 is not that far anymore. And then maybe we find a water to drink. And then we'll see if we start on the route to part 4. Car comes again. But all good, you know, the heartbeat, the legs, the breathing, all good. But you feel it, you know. You feel it, but nothing what you say, we have to say shit. I see now, up, so long always. That can get a frustrating part because it's no, again so long. That takes time, you know. But you have to do it. Drive and drive. Those mountains, they look also very spectacular because they are so sharp. But I'm still thirsty. You see? And on there we have to go. That is the part 4 then, when I told you, when the street ends at the ski area where it starts, and then the stones to part 4, to our futuristic house. From here you would not imagine how this looks on site, you know. And now we see it. Oh, cool. Oh, here on, you know, there we have to drive then. Oh, that is still a long route, you know. You see all the racers come again back because they ended here with their race. You need a mountain bike to come up there. Oh. Now you see it. You see the gondolas on there. You see? That is the hill what we have to drive on now. Wow. Tough route. And then on this, the house is 2,340 meters. The highest of them all, what we have done if we can achieve it today. But you see, part 3 we are, and that is then the part 4 to come up there on a stone way. Again, you know why I said don't lose energy at part 1 or 2, why I didn't drive the whole way. The road, so was, you see how they come back, that we saved energy. So we can go on a bit higher. But I need something to drink. That is important to come up, you know. But we will see. While my ass stand up a bit to relax the ass. very fast. They're on. Wow. That will be tough. Oh. Watch at that mountains. The Aksamali Zum. Not far anymore. Now it is more a little bit upwards, but only a little bit. We can go to a higher one. Whew. Oh, 3 bicycles come back, you see them? Now we arrive almost. At part 3 we finish now. That is cool. I didn't thought that we finish part 3 now because of the weather. That is nice, you know. You see, very beautiful. Hello. Servus. The racers. Yeah, so we go a bit higher. Yeah. Whew. Stand up, wow, my ass, you know. Stay a bit. Wow, now we arrive at part 3. Here we can check out the weather, but always more important is to check out by your own view, you know. What your feeling says to you. Wow. Now we drive in. Part 3, we finish now. Yes. But the shadow comes in now. Because here I'm quick down, you know, but on a stone way, which is steep, I cannot drive quick down, you know. Now the Lattenrosch comes again. Oh. Aksamali Zum, here we are. Olympic Games 1964 and 1976. Lattenrosch, we had the Olympic Winter Games. And here on we have to come now. But you see the clouds, and here are the cows on the parking field. You see them? The cows are here. Oh, and here you see the Hodelbahn, 1560 to 2340. There you can drive on. Oh, amazing! We have arrived part 3, but now on to the hill, to the futuristic house. That is the thing what we have to do. Wow. But now I have really to check out the weather. Wow. And here it was, you know, the course. Left on we drove. There are the lifts, you see. That is cool. Oh. You see here the cows here. And here you see it, the Hodelbahn, 1560 to 2340 meters. Oh. That is cool, you know. That is cool. I'll show you that. Ah, you see, that is nice. The cows are all there, and here you see how high we are. The mountain looks so small, you know, on the other side. That is so cool view from here always. Really, really nice. But we have to come on now, you know. I check out the weather and then we hear us. So my friends, wait, I have to clean it once again. Now I have not a good message. What? Here are the cows, what I told you, in front of us. But the weather, that is the question. Now watch, Aksamali Zum. You see it maybe? There is, wait. Lights are coming. Wait. You see that? Lights, you know. Gewittrig. Niederschlag 90% for 3 o'clock. Now we have it 3. So they say lights will be there. Scheiße, that means I cannot drive on. Lights is always, when they say there will come lights, even only light ones, I cannot do it, you know. That is the thing. Because if I drive on now, maybe we would have luck, but maybe not. And that means, wait. I'm very sorry now. But I tell you, wait. Doggy, but you see the way, that is the stone way. That is so tough that we would have to push the bicycle, and I cannot come down quick. And you don't want to be so high on a mountain when lights come in, you know. And that is the only reason when I turn. And you know, but you have no other choice, there is no other possibility. Now the sun comes again, but you see exactly over there, I don't see it from here. And when they say it in this app, then I have to turn if I want or not. You have to do that, you know. That is like, I don't know, if you go into the sea when a red flag is out, that is stupid, you know. And that can happen because on such routes you can normally only do when the weather is perfect, you know. I know that. But the next week, the next 7 days is every day rain, light. And so today was the only chance to come up until to here, you know. But always in the mountains you have only 2 ways to do it, to say yes or no. There is nothing between. You cannot say, yeah, try a bit, then we will see. No, because then it is maybe too late, or you have luck and you can do it. But you know, in the mountains that changes in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes you can have the hardest rain now here. And when they say lights come down, 90% rain, you know, now it does not look that, you know. But the clouds over that mountain, you know, and they look not good. I told you before, you know. When I watch to them, I see, but it depends if they turn or not. Because here I would have no problem. Those clouds there, they don't bother me, you know. Shit. That is the thing, you know. Scheiße. You know, that is really, you are so close. But it makes no sense, you know. In the mountains, trust your feeling, you know. You know, from the seeing, I would say no, I don't believe that there come much. But when the app says and when I see clouds both together, that is the thing, you know. Because here I don't see over the mountain, you know. But lights, with a bicycle in the mountain, by lights. Scheiße. You know, I can make now turns, you think, then you say, yeah, maybe you motivate yourself, but the clear answer is already made. No, you cannot do it, you know. The circumstances are against, and so I have to go home. Scheiße. Yeah, but that it is also, sometimes it's not your body what is the limit, it is the weather. And when they say light, yeah, you see here is also a dark cloud in. You know, it's already made, but you drive a few rounds because you think, but you already know you cannot do it. Scheiße. Naja, was soll's. We have to come back here. Naja. I hope you liked it also to the end of part 3. The futuristic house, we will come back all the day, all the weather, and then, yeah. But it was a nice training, but I wanted to come up, you know. Naja, that it was. We see us again, was still nice. Wait. Yeah, from here, one view again. We go down one time. No. Makes no sense. The app says there is 90% light. No. So from that, we see us again. Until then, bye and ciao.